The term glaze has become one of the highest used phrases on the internet. For those living under a rock, it basically means to excessively praise someone, lick their boots, or as others like to call it, meat ride. When you hear the word glaze, plenty of characters probably come to mind, like Goku, Batman, Gojo, just to name a few. I took a survey asking you guys the most glazed characters of all time, and today the top 32 candidates are going head to head in a bootlicking brawl, a slobbering showdown, the ultimate glazing gauntlet, and we're gonna decide who's the most glazed character of all time. Hope y'all enjoy. First round. Oh my goodness gracious, guess. No. Speak of the devil. Mihawk and Gojo. What a first round matchup here. Let's dive into both of them. Starting with Mihawk. I feel like you're in a better position to explain this, but there's been a thing going around, the Mihawk upscale. Can you explain to the people what that is?
So basically, Mihawk upscale agenda is that whenever a new character is introduced with a sword, like Shamrock or Figarland Garling or Roxy Zebek in One Piece, or honestly, it transcends One Piece at this point because Goku held a sword. Anybody that holds a sword basically is just Mihawk upscale because he's the world's strongest swordsman.
I've seen videos of a random person picking up a sword and then the Mihawk upscale is brought up. But on the other hand, we have Gojo Satoru. His glaze is not only in real life, it's also in the actual story. I mean, his birth shifted the balance of power. How does a baby shift the balance of power? Like, he could not have been that strong to the point where it did that, right? As a baby, someone's got to be glazed in there, right?
They sure thought so. So I would say that's glaze.
But let's talk about the real life glaze though. The things I've seen people do to Gojo figures and merchandise is borderline terrifying.
Yeah, I don't know if, like, I was saying this is gonna be like a championship matchup right here, but honestly, thinking about it, there's no glaze like Gojo glaze from what I've seen. This might be the victor right here, right in front of us, round one.
I wouldn't jump to conclusions that fast because we got some big dogs of glaze on here.
Okay.
I'm talking like top of the line glaze here, but he's definitely a candidate. I think he's the easy choice here. Just don't look up Gojo incident. Well, if you need answers for why he's the winner here, then do that. I wouldn't recommend it. Drake and Wally West.
Oh, yo, they got back-to-back my goats. That's crazy.
Oh, so Drake is your goat, so you can speak for him on this.
Yeah, but this isn't even glaze. This is just true. Like, he's just the goat.
Oh my god.
You're making me want to pick him right now.
Yo, hold on. I don't like the most versatile, the most like the bestest, the most highest numbers is the highest bestest.
You're making up words here. What are you talking about?
Okay, that was a bad photo of him, by the way. What are we doing here?
Bad photo? I mean you got like good photos of Drake saved or something?
I'm not gonna comment on that. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Who is Wally West?
You don't know the Flash, bro?
Oh, the Flash. Okay, I was just making sure. Okay, I didn't know
one of the versions of the Flash.
What is he glazed in regards of? Like speed? Because the Flash is the Flash.
Okay, so back in 2021, he went on an insane run of edits where anyone who was put against him just got absolutely demolished and every single edit was going viral, right? And he lives up to it. He is that powerful. He's one of the most powerful DC heroes. I feel like the fact people just constantly went on and on about how strong he is why he's glazed so much, but I would have to say Drake here. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna trust your judgment on this one, but I just have a feeling that Wally West is way more glazed. You said he went on to whatever. You know what? Whatever. I don't want to see this picture anymore, anyways.
Okay. Oh my goodness gracious.
Yo.
I mean, physically, like speaking, she is technically more glazed in a different kind of sense that we're talking about, but
I was gonna say I don't think it's actually a competition, depending on your definition of glaze. Like Goku would definitely.
I think that's a bit different of a definition we're shooting for here with Bonnie Blue. I gotta go with Goku.
Yeah. We're not talking about literal glaze this time, at least.
Ooh, we got Batman versus Kagurabachi. They didn't even put his name. They just said Kagurabachi. There's no way it's not going to Batman. I mean, even if it didn't go to Batman, you give him prep time and he'd probably still find a way to get outglaze here.
I'm thinking about this, and the difference is Batman's glaze is deserved. Kagurabachi's, is it deserved? Or is it just kind of a meme glaze?
Kagurabachi is really good. People were glazing it just because it was a joke to glaze it, but Batman, I don't think you've seen some of these people. I don't know. There's the Batman with prep time is kind of insane. There was a guy that said Batman beats Jesus with prep time.
Okay. Okay.
Like that's how far it's gone. I think this is easily Batman. Kagurabachi is actually good. People glazed for the memes. Now here's Drake's op right here. We got Kendrick Lamar versus Alien X from Ben 10.
So we know what we're picking here, right?
I mean, I feel like we gotta choose Kendrick just so he can find his way against Drake in this video. Alien X is really strong. There is a lot of glazers, but again, he's kind of like Wally West in a sense where we know he's powerful. People just can't shut up about it. That's the biggest part of his glaze. But I think I'm gonna go with Kendrick here. Both sides of their beef between Drake and Kendrick just went absolutely haywire with the glaze. I can't lie. Both sides. I don't know what to say. This right here, this is a good one because both of these characters are not only glazed by the people, but by the authors and writers themselves. You got Zoro, Toei Animation's golden child, right? And then there's Yujiro Hanma, who is basically the anime version of Batman. Like, oh, I have a technique for this. Let me just walk through and press my face through glass and it'll work. If Batman trained with the Tibetan monks, Yujiro trained with Indian monks.
Both of these glazes is valid, in my opinion.
It is, but it gets to a point, right, where the authors are just going so insanely overboard with how much these characters are glazed. I would say, in that sense, it goes to Yujiro, but overall, Zoro does have a lot of fanboys as well.
Yeah, you know what? Every poll that ever gets put out on YouTube, no matter what, they don't. The Zoro glazers legit don't read the question. They just pick Zoro. It's that bad. Whatever poll there is, he just wins.
I think Toei Animation pushes him over the edge here. Over Yujiro. I would agree with you there. Saitama and Buggy the Clown. Buggy's not really glazed in real life. It's more of a meme, but the people in One Piece, that's a whole different story. They legitimately think this guy's a Yonko. And then there's Saitama, the power scaling community. He's done his mark on the power scaling community for sure.
He is a meme character in a way, but he's also one that just wins every fight. Like, that's just his character.
I'm thinking more real life glazers for Saitama. The ones who are like, he's a gag character. He'll one-shot you. The amount of people that have made that argument is insane. I think it's stronger with Saitama. People will go further with the glaze for Saitama than they would with Buggy.
Because
with Buggy,
you can
it gets
actually
to a point.
back up the Saitama one. Whereas Buggy, it's like, okay, well, what are you really backing up? The guy lucked his way into the position he's at.
Well, what I'm saying is that people will go further and further and further. Like, they won't stop with Saitama. With Buggy, it gets to a point where it's just a meme, you know? Like, say you glaze Buggy in a comment section. Like, oh, Buggy solos. No one's really gonna genuinely argue with you. They're just gonna go along with the meme. But Saitama, you drop, people be dropping he could one punch anyone. He's a gag character. There's no stopping that.
You have a point. I think you win Saitama for sure.
Hercule and Grug. Easily Grug. Hercule's kind of like Buggy in a sense that he's just a meme. People in Dragon Ball definitely glaze him a lot, but the Croods came out like 10 years ago and he just comes back out of nowhere and takes over the internet. This is no contest to me.
Is it just me or do they kind of look alike? Grug most definitely more glazed though. Beating Goku in fights, like come on, bro.
I mean, I would say that's a fact, but that's a different question for a different story. We got Shanks and Toji. Toji's like Gojo in a sense where people get freaky with the glaze. There's all kinds of glaze for Toji. Shanks is just delusional, I guess.
I learned to have empathy for the Shanks glazers, you know. They just don't know. They don't know that their character is destined to not only lose, like in the final war, like just die, but they don't understand that he's just second place to Mihawk. It's that simple.
Buddy, we're supposed to be choosing the characters that are glazed. We're not supposed to be helping him here. You're helping Mihawk right now. He's gonna win later because of you.
Honestly though, there's a good case for Toji though. That's why I'm like, JJK characters received a different amount of glaze than normal in general.
Yeah, it's too many Sims to not be the winner here.
Toji's worm probably has more glazers than some One Piece characters, which is crazy to say.
Curious George versus Metro Man. This is Curious George. I don't even know why the strongest character in fiction right now. You bring him up in any kind of fight, he's not losing. Like you said with Zoro and the whole votes on YouTube thing or whatever. If you put Curious George in a fight, he's gonna win 90% minimum.
Curious George.
Yes.
The one I watched when I was like 3 years old.
Yes, Curious George. I'm telling you, you put him in any kind of matchup against any fictional character, he's not losing. I promise you that.
Who the hell is Metro Man? Okay, you know what?
You don't know Metro Man from Megamind?
Oh, I don't really know what he does, but I remember him.
Well, he's kind of invincible, and how fast he moves in slow-mo is kind of insane, but it's just not matching up to Curious George. And now this right here, I would have figured would be a championship level matchup. We have LeBron James and Godzilla himself. Oh my goodness gracious. What are your initial thoughts on this?
My initial thought is LeBron, but that's just because I am a LeBron glazer. However, I can see it with Godzilla, but I just don't think there's as many Godzilla glazers as there is LeBron. There's just pure volume on the LeBron side.
I do think that's an advantage he has. He is more deserving though. Godzilla is an absolute monster, don't get me wrong, but I think they literally have some kind of deal that whenever Godzilla's in a a collab, he literally can't lose no matter who he's against, which is just insane to me. Like you put
It's
him
like
in
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Did you know he has a thing where it's like in his contract he can't be the villain or something like that, or he can't lose.
anytime you put him in a Marvel comic, he's soloing the Avengers. DC comic, he's soloing the Justice League. He took over hell in a comic. It's just insane. And LeBron James, he does have a lot of glazers. A lot of it is meme glazing, although he does have like whole albums of songs glazing him at the same time. Godzilla did lose to Charles Barkley before, if you didn't know. They played a one-on-one.
Charles Barkley?
Yeah, there was a time they played one-on-one and Godzilla lost.
Yeah.
That's one of his few losses.
And he still has glazers after that?
Yeah.
They lose to Charles Barkley.
I don't think I've ever heard a Godzilla song before. I think it has to be LeBron James. Sukuna in the Saja Boys. I think this one's actually really good, and I have a really good argument for why it could be the Saja Boys. But if you want to talk about Sukuna,
I was actually gonna say I've been seeing your shorts about the Saja Boys, and I think these guys take the cake, honestly, over Sukuna Glaze.
Oh, really?
Sukuna Glaze actually kind of, I don't want to say this, but after the Blob incident, I feel like it fell off.
yeah, it kind of just ended.
just-
There's no coming back from that. Although he's one of those characters where the author gets in on it too. His run was
This is true.
insanity. He went on a generational run. But then there's the Saja Boys, who literally have songs in #1 in the charts in real life, and they're a fictional boy band. They're breaking records that BTS hadn't even accomplished. Is that not insanity? These guys aren't real. And then you want to talk about in verse? They're literally floating on the stage in demon outfits, talking about taking people's souls, and the people are just cheering. They're cheering away without a care in the world.
At the same time, Sukuna had his own author glazing him.
Yeah, that's true. Although that is a lot of characters here as well. He is very powerful. I'll give him that.
So what are you saying, that the Saja Boys music is not good enough to be #1 and breaking records?
No, I certainly think it is, but at the same time, the fact that they're breaking all these records that real life goats in the industry haven't is just insane to me. You can glaze someone. They can fully deserve the glaze, but it can still be glazed. Okay, all right. That was a bit weird. I'll rephrase it one more time for you guys. You can deserve the glaze, but the glaze can still be glazed. Does that make sense to you guys?
So, Saja Boys. Yeah.
I think I gotta go with the Saja Boys. I'm sorry. Oh, brother. Oh, brother.
Oh, man.
Itachi and Anti-Spiral. So I don't know where the Anti-Spiral trend started, but I assume that's why he's here, because everyone just spams his name in the comments. There's no kind of elaboration or really reasoning for it. They just type Anti-Spiral everywhere.
The difference is with Itachi, they are die-hard glazers. Like, when you get one Itachi glazer, it's worth about 100 Anti-Spiral glazers, in my opinion, at least.
No,
They
yeah,
really
you're
mean
definitely
it.
right on. Anti-Spiral is like a meme, but Itachi, he's one of the goats of glazing. I think Itachi's the clear choice. Scarlet Witch and Sung Jin Woo. Oh my. These MCU fans, they don't play about their glaze. Scarlet Witch is like the strongest in the MCU according to the Wanda fans. And then there's Sung Jin Woo though. He's glazed in every aspect, from the simping, the power scaling. I feel like this gotta
The
be
whole
Sung Jin
show
Woo.
is about glazing him. I'm not even gonna lie. This should be something.
The whole show is about glazing him. It's not even that far off of his statement, which is crazy. I think he's the easy choice. King versus the gorilla. From the 100 humans versus the gorilla. The glaze I saw for the gorilla was kind of insane.
Yeah, there's no shot a gorilla beats 100 people. I mean, that's a different debate for a different day.
People were talking about this gorilla like it's Thanos or something, right? Talking about beating 100 people. It's not beating 50 people. King is glazed a lot in the verse of One Punch Man. You remember that scene where they told him to cut an apple and then he didn't do anything? And the guy thought he moved so fast that he cut through the apple and the atoms just didn't move or something. It was some kind of BS answer. The guy thought he cut it so fast that nothing happened, which is insane.
Oh my gosh, bro.
But then there's the gorilla who took over the internet talking about beating some 100 people. Yeah. King is mostly a meme to the real life people, but the gorilla, I feel like some people were genuine. We have not Mr. Impossible against Homelander. Come on.
I'd say it's impossible for him to win this.
Okay, don't play that game with me though. Do not play that with me. See, the thing with Mr. Impossible is that I haven't seen someone debunk what he's capable of. Is it glaze if they live up to it? You can be glazing even if they deserve the glaze, but at the same time, a lot of people aren't wrong with how they gas him up.
Whereas with Homelander, is he really glazed? I don't know. I don't know if he's glazed by the public.
No, he's definitely glazed.
talking about
There's
in-show?
so many different Homelander edits. There's power scaling where people are like putting him against the likes of Omni-Man, Superman, and it's not even close.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I would say Homelander here, and that's
Really?
totally not biased, by the way. Mr. Impossible is not, he's legitimately a threat to the universe. He could be a threat to the universe. And I'm not even saying that's not even glazing because it's a genuine fact. Unless someone can disprove that, it's not glazing. Homelander has been around for a few years too. Homelander's glaze got quiet quick. Yeah, after he drank that milk, it definitely dissipated a bit. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say Homelander. Totally not biased, by the way. Okay, second round here.
Back. Okay.
Gojo and Drake. Honestly, I feel like they're glazed in very similar ways.
I agree. I don't know why they have the same vibe.
Gojo definitely has a picture in his phone making the same exact face Drake is making here too. It's got to be Gojo, right? It's got to be Gojo.
It's got to be Gojo.
It's got to be Gojo. Unfortunately, Drake doesn't get to go against Kendrick here. I would have loved to see the wars that occur from that, but we got to go with Gojo. Oh my goodness gracious. Why are the championship matchups like going back to back? Goku's on a crazy run here. Bonnie Blue and now Batman.
I don't know
this
about
is like
the first one, but this
one of the most
definitely
glazed anime characters versus the most glazed comic book character. This is actually a generational matchup. This is tough. Nobody can beat Goku versus Batman with prep time.
Are we including the recent events with the whole everything is canon and now everybody thinks Goku solos everything?
I mean, did that really change anything? Did that really change anything?
To be fair, yeah, you're right, because people already thought that. So
if there was like a glaze meter, both of these are through the roof, infinite levels of glaze. So it's just a matter of who's the bigger character, which is also just as hard of a question. I mean, this is the GOAT of anime versus the GOAT of comics, right? I think Batman has to be the choice because he's just a regular dude. And then you got people saying with prep time, he can beat literal gods.
This is true. Yeah. Yeah.
You heard about them Tibetan monks, bro? Like, he got a technique for everything. I'm going with Batman. I think Batman's the choice here. That was tough. Goku out in the second round is crazy, though. Any other matchup, he'd probably win. Kendrick Lamar and Zoro. I don't want to see Kendrick on my screen like this again. I hope we're on the same page when I say it's Zoro.
It's Zoro. 100% Zoro.
If we didn't choose Drake, we can't choose Kendrick. We can't be picking sides here. Saitama and Grug, again, Grug is such a good candidate here. Saitama does have the longevity of glazing, but Grug, he just took the internet by storm for no reason. Why? Okay, I don't understand.
Is so I don't care. Okay, listen, the Grug glaze is so unjustified, whereas with Saitama, you can at least try to make a point. Why is Grug on the same level, actually not the same, higher level power scaling wise than Goku? Why is this a thing?
It does rhyme with Grug. Losing doesn't rhyme with Grug. I don't know why people started glazing Grug, says the man that started glazing Grug a month ago. I'm not the reason for this, by the way. He was glazed before I started talking about him.
They're saying they're blaming you. They're blaming you.
Okay, yeah, I feel like this gotta be Grug. I agree with your point that you can justify Saitama in most cases, but then Grug, he did kick a log in outer space though. It is a testament to how strong he is. When I saw this matchup right here, it was instantly Curious George. He's exactly like Rug to a point where, why do you glaze them? Why are they the strongest characters in fiction? Whereas Toji, I mean, he's pretty strong in Jujutsu Kaisen. He's pretty handsome. He's got a good body, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Pause, by the way, but it makes sense. To an extent, it's taken a little far at times, but Curious George, Curious George. Watch, after this video, I want you to go to your page and then post Curious George versus literally anyone. Think of the strongest character. Put a poll on your community or whatever. The editor can show it on the screen, the results, and you're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay, we will see.
You can even put Curious George against fiction itself, and you're gonna see. LeBron James versus the Saja. This is gonna be LeBron James. It's gotta be LeBron James.
It's gotta be.
The Saja boys had a good run. They had a good run. They transcended fiction with their music, but LeBron James is LeBron James. Itachi and Sung Jin Woo. This is like old gen versus new gen.
Oh man.
Itachi, if there was a Mount Rushmore of Blaze, I feel like he would be there.
Yeah.
At least when it comes to anime.
Thing is, Sung Jin Woo is him and Gojo are probably the new gen goats of glazing. So it's like, are we really gonna take off Sung Jin Woo already?
I did see someone make this point earlier. They chose Grug earlier. They said because of recency bias, and I feel like that's a genuine factor. In most arguments, that's irrelevant, but recency bias is a huge thing because glazing comes and goes. It's not forever. We could talk about the peaks of their glazing. That's a different story, but
well, then if we're talking most all-time glazed, it's gotta be Itachi then.
It's gotta be Itachi. I mean, Sung Jin Woo in his verse, how could you not glaze him? How could you not? Itachi it is. The Gorilla versus Homelander.
I don't even know a lot about Homelander, but I'm leaning towards him right now.
You're leaning towards Homelander over the Gorilla?
Because the Gorilla thing was like...
people came to their senses with it.
Yeah.
At first, though, it was kind of insane how people were saying the Gorilla.
Because one person said it, and then they were like, oh, wow, this is actually true. And then, like, people thought about it, and they were like, okay, wait, 100 people versus a gorilla? Yeah, that's not happening. The Gorilla's not winning.
More people were just wrong about the Gorillas. They were just wrong about the Gorilla. They weren't really really glazing that much, I feel like. Homelander makes it another round. Gojo and Batman. Oh my goodness gracious. If we didn't choose Goku, we can't not choose Batman, right?
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, if it wasn't Goku, it's not going to be Gojo. It's Batman. He might be in the championship. Zoro and Grug. This might be where Zoro meets his match. I'm not going to lie.
It could be, but like you said, are we recency biasing Grug into higher glazing heights than he should be?
I mean, the fact that he was brought up after 10 years and the trigger is just absolutely nothing. There was no reason, there was no kind of reference or like popular event that happened that justified Grug being a genuinely trending character in 2025. You cannot explain why he's trending right now.
That's true. I can't, because there's no shot. I don't know. Why is he even here? He shouldn't even be on this list. He's transcended reality at this point.
Okay, now that's definitely glazing. He gets points for that. This right here is the matchup of all matchups. Curious George versus LeBron James.
That's an all-time matchup right there if I've ever seen one.
Oh my, I don't even
know.
know.
I will argue, if I were to put out a poll that said LeBron versus fiction, I'd argue LeBron would win that poll as well.
He would, but Curious George versus LeBron, who would win that poll? I don't know.
Really...
LeBron would be close. He would be close. I think the chat has to decide this one. I'm at a crossroads. I have no idea who I would pick here. Any argument you make for one, you can make for the other. I guess you could say LeBron deserves the glaze more. That could be the deciding factor. George, LeBron dunking on George. Okay, George deserves all the glaze. Why? Because he's curious? Like, why?
LeBron actually deserves his glaze, whereas Curious George is just here for no reason. Like, why is he even here?
And they're not even choosing him.
And they're glazing him more by not choosing him. Yo, this is crazy.
I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry, chat. You guys chose LeBron, but the fact that you didn't choose Curious George proves that it should be George. I'm just gonna do it. I did it. Rip off the band-aid. Itachi and Homelander. This is Itachi. This is Itachi.
Homelander got lucky with the matchups he got to make it this far.
He did. He's low-key a fraud to be up here right now. Just like how he's a fraud in every power scaling debate he's in. We got Batman versus Grug. This might be where Grug meets his match. You give Batman some prep time and he's probably beating Grug.
Batman also has length of time under the glazophy, whereas Grug, it's recency glaze, you know, it's not the same. It's a trend that will die off, whereas Batman's glaze will never die off. That's the difference.
Lag said that's cheating. Lag, we're choosing the more glazed character, by the way. So by choosing LeBron, I feel like that would go against what your wishes.
See, the thing is, they see LeBron and they're like, we have to pick him to win. They weren't thinking about the question.
Or maybe they accept that they're glazing. Anyways, this is Batman quite easily. Curious George and Itachi. Itachi is one of the goats of anime glazing. He's not beating Curious George. Goku would have been a way better matchup. The battle of the two monkeys, but this is Curious George.
I just see...
He beat LeBron James. I mean, come on.
But the problem is I see a Curious George Victory Royale coming up here soon.
Well, hold on, though. Because if we click George, look at this matchup here. Batman. This is the GOAT of legitimate glaze. They have reasons for glaze versus the GOAT of being glazed for absolutely no reason. The question is, what's stronger? Being glazed for no reason or being glazed for the dumbest reasons possible?
Batman with prep time would be able to out Curiosity George is Curiosity. So
out Curiosity is crazy. Okay, so you said Batman with prep time can out Curious the Curious.
Curious George might get curious enough to steal Batman's prep time and plans. Yo, I don't know at this point. I'm trying to glaze both sides, but it doesn't roll off the tongue with George.
You sound like both fandoms right now. So Batman with prep time could be curious enough to out Curious George, but if George gets curious enough about how he did that, it's a whole different story. I think we need another poll. Who's more glazed, y'all? Batman or Curious George? Batman couldn't be curious since he has all the answers. Is that supposed to support or go against him?
Oh man.
I mean, I know what you're saying, but I have no idea the point you're trying to make.
Wait, but I think then by default he would beat Curious George because he has all the answers, whereas Curious George is still searching for answers. Unless Curious George is looking for answers that transcend reality.
It's gotten so nuanced to the point where there's different definitions of glaze, different ways to glaze. I'm glazing my pants right now. Okay.
That is not the same glaze we've been talking about, except for one person, but...
We gotta make a choice here, and I think I know who I want to pick. Who would you pick?
As much as I'd like to pick Curious George, his glaze is stupid! Batman's is at least justified.
Batman has been glazed upon glazed since the moment of his creation. Comic book fandom is one of the largest fandoms on the earth, and if there's anyone who represents glazing as an entire concept, the nuanced concept that it's eventually become in the year of 2025, It's Batman. It's Batman. Batman as the most glazed character in the existence of characters, fictional, real, or fake, is a choice that I feel very confident in. I don't regret anything about choosing Batman. If I chose George, I feel like there'd be a part of me that's like, did I make the right choice? But with Batman, I'm fairly confident he can go glaze for glaze with anybody, even Bonnie Blue.
Yo, I don't know about that one.